Welcome to Fusion Tonight. This week, Becca Nims joins us from St. Paul's United Methodist Church in Cedar Rapids. Now scream and yell and jump up and down for our host, Mr. John Cooper.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fusion Tonight. I'm your host, John Cooper. It's so good to see you. We had a little break there. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I hope everyone's enjoying being right here in the time of Christmas. We're in the middle of Advent. Lights are up, trees are up. Main Street in Cedar Falls looks wonderful. I know for me and my family, we're enjoying Christmas time. It was actually the first year, because of COVID and quarantining and not getting into travel, it was actually the first year in our family's history, the 10 years Gabby and I have been together, and then the 2 years since we've been parents, that we actually got all of our decorations up the day after Thanksgiving, because we were home, we got the lights up, we got the tree up. Avery was so excited. And as an added bonus, because we were home, we got to go to the Holiday Hoopla kickoff this year. And it was a little different because with all of the rules, it was a drive-through this year. And so it was supposed to be from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We have friends on Clay Street that said, hey, this line is pretty long. As of like 5:45, it was already backed up. So we were like, oh my gosh, we have to do this. Avery, we're going to take you to go see Santa. This is going to be a great way to kick off the Christmas season. It's going to get you pumped. It's going to get us pumped. We're going to see Christmas through your eyes. So we get in the car and we go to get in line to go do this drive-through. Now this drive-through started, the line is on Clay Street. This starts on 2nd Street. All right. When we get in line, we're literally trying to turn on to Searly. Now, if you're familiar with Cedar Falls, that's 22 to 24 blocks that we're away from this wonderful event where we get in line around 6:30. And if you live in Cedar Falls, you know how popular this was. You're like, well, it sounds like you were about an hour late. I have a 2-year-old. Of course, we're going to be an hour late doing anything. So we get in line at 6:30 on Searly Boulevard, over 20 blocks away from our destination. And this line is not moving. All right. And so we're already thinking, okay, we're committed. He's excited to see Santa, but we have to be realistic, right? We didn't pack any diapers. Okay. So crap could happen before we get there, if you will. And so we're waiting in line. And luckily, Avery is just super content, right? You know, he's not a perfect angel. I don't have a 2-year-old with magical powers that your 2-year-old doesn't have. On this night, he was content, he was happy, he was fine waiting, because we're thinking, all right, when we get to 18th, if things are bad, we're out. If we get to 12th and things are bad, we're out. And so we're sitting there in line. It's not moving. We have no diapers, but we just have a happy 2-year-old that magically didn't have to poop this time in our lives. We waited in line for 2.5 hours before we got anywhere close to the beginning. So in the middle of this 2.5 hours, we have a child that's happy. We're FaceTiming grandparents. We had our friends on Clay Street run us out some snacks. And we waited for 2.5 hours while it was just inching. I'm on Facebook. I'm trying to keep up with people that are calling. Hey, this thing is supposed to end at 8. Are you guys going to extend it? Luckily, they did, because by the time we got up there, it's 9:30 or whatever it is. So I guess I say 2.5 hours, closer to 3 hours. And right when we get to the entrance of Holiday Hoopla, we're finally here. Avery's going to see Santa. And I look over in the seat and I get this from him. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, no, we did not wait this long for you to see Santa, to fill your heart and mind with Christmas spirit and joy, for you to fall asleep. There is nothing less I want to do on this Friday night than for Gabby and I to be the ones to drive through while you're sleeping, so we can see a bunch of volunteers who have been in costumes for way too long, who are freezing, half-heartedly wave at us because they can't wait to go home while you sleep in the back. So I'm in the back. Avery, oh my gosh, we're here. Oh, it's Anna and Elsa are here. Oh my God, it's Cousin Eddie from a movie. You have no idea what I'm talking about. Just trying to hype him up, trying to keep him awake so he can see Santa, and this can all have been worth it. Luckily, he stayed awake. He saw Anna and Elsa and Olaf and Sven, but not Kristoff. He saw Cousin Eddie. He saw Paw Patrol. He saw Poppy and Branch from Trolls. And yes, he saw Santa Claus, and he saw the reindeer. And he was so excited. He was so happy. And we were so lucky he was awake. We made it. We get home. Her car said, over 3 hours since ignition. We were tired. He went right to bed. Thank goodness he enjoyed it. And if you've ever been in this situation as a parent, you know how stressful it can be. We were so lucky it wasn't. And so it was a wonderful event. We're glad we went. We're glad we stuck it out. And I have to give a huge shout out to all the volunteers for Holiday Hoopla. You guys received so many more people than you expected, and you stayed out way longer than you anticipated in the cold, especially Cousin Eddie. If you know who Cousin Eddie is, you know he was not dressed for that weather. And you guys stayed out there. You were cheerful. You were helpful. You were waving. You made Avery's night. Thank you for staying out there. Thank you for all the volunteers that put that event on. You dealt with unprecedented circumstances, and you made this family very happy. You helped us kick off the holiday spirit. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And with the holiday spirit, with the Christmas spirit in mind, we have a great show for you tonight. I'm so excited. Becca Nims is going to be the person talking to us tonight. She grew up in the church. She's off doing ministry elsewhere now. I'm so excited to check back in with her. We're going to look at our mission of the month. Before we do that, though, I invite you every week, please like, love, react with the little emoji on Facebook. Let us know that you're watching, and please use the comment section and write down an area in your life that we can lift up in prayer. Before we close the show tonight, we'll go in a time of prayer. We want a chance to pray for you and with you. Use the comment section to write down prayers, things that we can lift up this holiday season. We'll really, really appreciate having the opportunity to do that with you. And now, it is time to look at this month's mission of the month. And now, it is time to look at this month's mission of the month.
Uh-oh. I haven't made the mission of the month video yet. Shoot, let me show you something. All right, so our mission of the month is down here, but we kind of have to move fast. And I'll tell you why. Because the deadline is tomorrow. Normally we've got a whole month to work on the mission of the month, but this month what we're trying to do is make Christmas extra special for a couple of families that could really use some help from the North Cedar and the Lincoln School areas. And so you'll find just inside our front door, you'll find this tree that's right behind me. This is the giving tree for these families. And what you'll find on the tree is tags like this one. It says, 5-year-old girl wants frozen things. I think that has to do with the Disney movie, not like vegetables, or books or educational toys. And there's a tag for a 6-year-old boy right here. And there's, a five-month-old boy, a 7-year-old boy. See, we're almost out of tags. We're almost out of tags on this tree, but time's running out because we want to have all this done by the 10th, which is tomorrow, right? Tomorrow. So if you've got any time at all tomorrow, come on down to the church. Come just inside the front door. You don't have to come all the way into the building. Well, you have to come inside the front door, but it's not like you have to go to the office or the sanctuary or anything, but grab one of these tags, run out, do some shopping, and bring the gift back to us. And we can all help make a couple of families' Christmas extra special. That is our December mission of the month.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was our mission of the month. It was our angel tree. I want to tell you, if you haven't heard of this great chance to give, tomorrow does happen to be the deadline. So please click on the link, and if you're compelled to give, please find a way that you can find a way to give a gift to a family that could really use some Christmas spirit by tomorrow. All of the information is going to be provided to you when you click that link. I encourage you to do that. And now I'm so excited to welcome her back, hear from her as we welcome her back with our first United Methodist welcome. Give it up for Becca Nims.
Hello, First UMC. My name is Becca Nims, and I had the privilege of being a part of your congregation for about 9 years. I first got introduced to First UMC in Cedar Falls my senior year of high school in 2009. And that was when your youth group was going on a spring break trip to Washington, D.C., and you guys had some open spots. Your then associate pastor, Steve Brott, made a call out to fellow clergy and asked if any churches had students that wanted to join. And my father, who is now a retired United Methodist clergy, basically voluntold me that I was going on that trip. Because I was going to be going to UNI in the fall and knew that I needed a place to get connected into. And so that was my first initial interaction with your congregation. And after that, I became a regular attender and volunteer at First. I volunteered with the youth group during my college career at UNI. And was involved in many other ways those 4 years. Flash forward to 2014. I had been out of college about a year, working in an office job that I despised greatly in the Des Moines area. And that was when Pastor Steve Williams asked me what I was doing and encouraged me to apply for the then open youth ministry coordinator position. At the time, if I'm being completely honest, that was just a way for me to get out of the job that I was currently doing. I had no intentions of really staying more than like a year and a half maybe to figure out what I really wanted to do. But little did I know that I actually loved being in professional youth ministry. And here we are 6 years later. I'm in my second year as a full-time youth minister at St. Paul's United Methodist Church in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, where I work with 5th through 12th graders. I mention all of this because it was your community of faith that truly helped form me in my late teens and early 20s. I turn 30 next week, which is just crazy to me, and y'all were introduced to me when I was just 18, so that gives you some perspective. It was because of the faithful people of First that I found my calling to work with young people, and you gave me an opportunity to try. You allowed me as a college student to host concerts with a small Christian band called We Are Leo from Wisconsin. You entrusted me at 23 to help form your students' faith when I was still and am still continuing to form my own faith. You helped me out when my college roommate set a Pop-Tart on fire in our apartment, and I had to sleep elsewhere for 2 nights due to the smoke in our apartment. You drove me to physical therapy sessions after not 1 but 2 ACL surgeries. You were and are my home away from home. You were the church for me, both in the sense of a physical building and a place of worship for me. But you were also, and are still, a community where I was free to be myself and grow. You embodied Hebrews 10, 24 through 25 that says, let us consider how to stir up one another to love and good works, not neglecting to meet together as is the habit of some, but encourage one another. I'm forever grateful for each of you, and I pray once this pandemic is over that I am able to come and be with you in person. Thanks for having me tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up again for Becca Nims. It was so exciting to hear from her again, see what she's up to now that she is over in St. Paul's and Cedar Rapids, continuing her ministry. We miss her a lot, having her here, having her work with our youth, but it's so exciting to check in with her, hear what she's doing, and know that even though she's not spreading the gospel here, she is spreading the gospel elsewhere, and she's just always done a fantastic job. So thank you, Becca, for being on the program tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing her again. It was a treat for me. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was our show. I told you before we leave, we would go into a time of prayer. We would pray over any comments that you have, and we're just going to pray for you in general, whether you shared in the comment section or not. So I invite you now to join me in a time of prayer. Gracious and Holy Father, as we prepare to enjoy this Christmas season, as we prepare to celebrate the birth of your Son, Jesus Christ, we ask that you are with us, not just during this time, but all the times. All of the things that we're going through, all of our highs, all of our lows. We ask that you remind us that you're here. We ask that you remind us that we're not alone in this world, that whatever we're facing, we're facing with you. Make your presence known to us. Wrap your arms around us. Let us feel loved. Let us know that we can get through what we're getting through. Bless us so that we can in turn be filled by those blessings and be a blessing to those around us. We ask for this in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our show this week. I'm so glad that you joined us. I hope to see you next week. Pastor Steve Hansen is coming back. I'm super excited to hear from him and everything that he's been doing. I do hear he might have a little special guest with him as well. I can't wait to see you next week. Until then, please be Christ for one another. We'll see you next time.